We've got this story from the Post. Millennial Trump fires back after Howard Stern tells Kamala she won't be safe if Trump wins. And he calls Howard Stern a beta male. Oh, boy. Quote, if he wins, God forbid, would you feel safe in this country? Would you stay in this country? And then Kamala's like, Howard, I am doing everything I can to make sure he doesn't win. Okay. Well, I certainly hope Kamala stays safe and happy and healthy and her family are fine and dandy. My view is, let's just put it this way. I would much prefer Kamala Harris to be cooking a delicious Jamaican dish, maybe a jerk chicken or something with her family. They're smiling. They turn on I don't know, Big Bang Theory or whatever it is people like Democrats watch. People like Democrats. And then, I don't know, they're happy about it, right? Certainly, I don't want anything to escalate into extreme violence. Aging shock jock Howard Stern asked Democratic candidate Vice President Harris if she plans to pack up and leave if Trump wins. Stern interviewed Harris Tuesday on SiriusXM. Stern reminded Harris that Trump has promised justice for the Democratic machine that has persecuted him with lawfare since he left office. Quote, if he wins, God forbid, would you feel safe in this country? Would you stay in this country? Howard, I'm doing everything I can to make sure he does not win, Harris said. What if he does? How can you be safe? He's saying, I'm just going to do whatever the hell I want. This time I know what I need to do. But Trump posted on Truth Social that Stern looked like a real fool, defending Harris in a review of the interview. Beta male Howard Stern made a fool of himself on his low-rated radio show when he interviewed Lion Kamala Harris and hit her with so many softball questions that even she was embarrassed. He looked like a real fool working so hard to make a totally incompetent and ill-equipped person look as good as possible, which wasn't very good. I dropped Howard a long time ago, like most others, and have since been credited with very good judgment, MAGA 2024. Harris talked of building a coalition with never-Trumpers like Dick Cheney, Mitt Romney, and other rhinos. You know what? All those former officials from national security, the over 200 Republicans who worked with both presidents, Bush, Romney, McCain, who are endorsing me, the former Vice President Dick Cheney, who is voting for me along with his daughter Liz Cheney, she said, we're building a coalition of people who are Republicans, independents, Democrats, libertarians, all stripes of Americans who are coming together to say, you know what? This election is about putting country before party. Well, let's talk about those coalitions, my friend. You've got that. Oh, boy. I can't wait to vote for Liz Cheney, Dick Cheney, Mitt Romney, John McCain, Bush. I know McCain's not around anymore. That's your coalition? I'll take the RFK Jr., Tulsi Gabbard, Elon Musk, Donald Trump any day of the week. Any day. She also referenced an upcoming book by Bob Woodward, who claims Trump often spoke with Russian President Vladimir Putin after leaving office. And now we got Susan Rice. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Let Russiagate, what are we on? Russiagate 4.0? Trump's reported calls with Putin appear illegal. Spare me. It's ridiculous. It's a violation of the Logan Act. That's what she's saying. Donald Trump is a private citizen. He can talk to whoever he wants. And we don't know if he did. These people won't stop. They are relentless. But you got to give him that, right? This is about saying, do we want a president who is going to abide by the oath to support and defend the Constitution of the United States, or someone who is full-time engaged in flattery from Vladimir Putin from Russia and sending COVID testing kits over to him when Americans are dying every day? Woodward also has much to say about President Joe Biden in the book, including that he regretted the appointment of Merrick Garland to the office of Attorney General after America appointed a special prosecutor to investigate Hunter. You reap what you sow, Joe. Now, speaking of people being worried about what's going to happen in this election, let's just say you've got Howard Stern. He fears for Kamala Harris. You've got Reid Hoffman, Bill Gates, but also James Carville. What are you guys scared of? Who are you cavorting with, huh? We've seen those WikiLeaks emails. James Carville says he's scared to death about Election Day. Calls on Kamala to get aggressive. This report from the Daily Wire. Carville says he's scared to death and he needs Kamala to get a message out. He appeared on Ari Melber's MSNBC show to discuss the state of the 2024 race with less than 4 weeks remaining. The former Bill Clinton advisor said the Harris campaign has under 20 days to really get the message out, adding that he's very, very concerned as Harris heads in the final stretch of the campaign, Mediaite reported, and also Donald Trump is winning. Say what you want about the polls. The betting markets are in aggregate, okay? Like you take them all, you add them together, you average them out. Donald Trump is up 6.6 points. I'll take it. Asked by Melber what he thinks Harris needs to do in the campaign's final month, Carville replied, she doesn't have a month left. We've got 26 days. Today is gone. You're going to lose 4 to the hurricane. Just subtract that. We are going to get blank. You're not going to get much out of the next 4 days. And everything kind of shuts down the Saturday before the election. So you're really probably under 20 days that you have to get a message out. They need to be sharp. They need to be aggressive. They need to stop answering questions and start asking questions. They're doing all this and sitting down with 60 Minutes and sitting down with Colbert. No matter what, if I come on your show, you will ask me the questions. If I have a press conference, I get to ask the questions. My friends, Kamala Harris is in a downward spiral. Call it the honeymoon period, call it whatever you want. But since she started her press run, it's been... I'm willing to bet that we're going to start seeing a massive negative repercussion for her from the press in the polls. But I don't really care about the polls because the polls is broken. We can use them to a certain degree, but we're still left scratching our heads. Who did they poll and why did they poll them? But the betting odds is where I think things get interesting. In the betting odds, you've got people outright saying right now, based on what I'm seeing, here's what I think. And when someone puts $10 on Trump, that's better than any poll. You call someone on the phone and say, who are you voting for? And they're going to be like, I ain't telling you. Or you call the wrong people. With betting markets, people want to get paid. Now, some believe there's a conspiracy that, powerful interests are buying bets to make it look like Trump or Kamala's winning. I don't buy it for a second. Moving on, the Democratic strategist also said he's frustrated with what he sees as a missed opportunity for the Harris campaign to challenge the Trump running mate, J.D. Vance's argument that the former president saved Obamacare. I would put President Obama out to make that challenge. He only is the author, the father of 23 million people having insurance. I would have President Clinton going on these local TV stations talking about how tariffs are going to destroy the economy of Wisconsin and Michigan. Carville, you moron. Okay? They kept the Trump tariffs. So by all means, send out Clinton to talk about tariffs being bad. And then Trump's going to be like, okay, well, Biden and Kamala kept them in place. So if you vote for them, you get the same exact thing. Moot point. However, I don't think it's going to fly in Michigan. Okay, the auto workers understand the power of tariffs. And Michael Moore hit the nail on the head with his famous speech back in, I think it was 2016. He said, Donald Trump went into the office of these auto execs and said to them, if you build your vehicles overseas, I am going to charge you 20 or 30% on a tariff to bring those vehicles into this country. And no one will ever buy your cars again. And Michael Moore said it was the first time that someone stood up to these guys. So these working class Joes in the Rust Belt who rely on the auto industry, they see that. And that's why UAW is pissed right now about Kamala and Joe Biden, the EV mandates. That's why the Teamsters are backing Trump. Head of the Teamsters did an interview where he was like, the Democrats have effed us over for 40 years. It's about time you woke up, I guess, but I'll take it, right? Michael Moore went on to say, and they'll be happy for a few days, maybe a few weeks, but then they'll regret it because Donald Trump is bad, blah, blah. It's hilarious. They never did. In fact, Trump's support increased from 2016 to 2020. He got people like me, especially, because I think he showed he was going to do right. The way I describe it to everybody is, I feel like I hired a plumber because my toilet broke. The piping was bad or whatever. And Kamala Harris is coming in there and laughing and being like, I'm going to bring joy and happiness to fixing your bathroom. And then she doesn't. And she leaves and it's worse than ever. And I'm like, man, then you get some fat, beer-bellied plumber who walks in saying, all right, where's the dang old effed up garbage? And he's crude, he's condescending, he's making offensive jokes in front of everybody. Some people are laughing, some people aren't. You got the wife and she's like, this guy I do not like. But you got to admit, you need him to fix the toilet. He walks in, he walks out. Your pipes are fixed, you dumb moron. Next time, don't put paper towels in there. That's what I'm talking about. Are you so daft that you're going to hire the person who's nice to you but can't do the job? Or are you going to hire the guy, Donald Trump, who may have mean tweets, but he solves your problem? Yo, working class Joes get it. It is actually quite simple. You're a working class guy, and you say, Donald Trump can call me every name in the book if he helps me keep my job. And my family is well fed, and energy costs are down. I can pay insurance. I can pay my mortgage. I can get my kids the clothes they need. Trump, I tell you this, go to any dad and say, here's your options. Kamala will laugh with you and have a Miller High Life, and you won't be able to afford groceries. Or Donald Trump will come in, personally insult your children and your wife, and then hand you a $100 bill. What are you going to pick? Of course, Donald Trump is not going to do that. But that's the argument they're trying to make. Oh, Donald Trump's a bad guy. He's racist and he's got no decorum, blah, blah, blah. Certainly. And I think those things matter to a certain degree. But for the regular working class person, it's like, brother, you can call me every name in the book. You can tell me I'm stupid. I'll take your money. Donald Trump's going to get the job done. At least we hope he does. That's the best we can do. In the meantime, what are Democrats mustering up? Russiagate again. Okay, guys. Susan Rice says Trump's calls with Putin appear illegal. I'm just not interested, man. You know, right now there's some good news on the horizon. We've got Trump taking over Wisconsin and Michigan, the battleground states. We've got Daily Wire reporting Kamala's blue wall is collapsing. The race has gotten a lot closer, and we know that the polls actually favor the Democrat. So we're looking right now at what appears to be a likely reality of Donald Trump. There we go. Look, let's say Trump loses Nevada, Georgia, North Carolina. He still wins 274. We can take a look at the Senate race. We're looking at a GOP Senate already, 51-48. And there's a chance for 52 Republican seats. In the House, Republicans have the edge, but it's still a bit of a toss-up. So we will see. My friends, this means y'all got to get out there. You got to be active. You got to do the work. Trump, the Freedom Caucus, whatever. They can't do nothing without you. You got to vote at the state level. You got to vote local. I don't care where you live. Do you know who your, comptroller is? Because you should. You should be paying attention to who's handling your budgets or your ombudsman or whatever, your alderman. These positions exist and they shape the world around you from the bottom up. You vote for the right state representatives and state senate, you're going to change the structure of your federal districts. They're going to gerrymandering and all that stuff. And then you're going to find that we've got 35 to 40 states that are Republican dominated. And this Democrat wanton insanity will come to an end. I'm going to wrap it up there. We got more segments coming up for you. Some crazy stories. Take a look at this one. Reddit bans the discussion on the Trump would-be assassin, the investigation. Things are very, very strange, I will say. So smash that like button, subscribe to this channel, share the show with your friends, follow me on X and Instagram, and become a member at timcast.com. Stay tuned. The next segment will be coming up on this channel shortly, but if you're watching live, we'll read some of your super chats now.